And so, Kier, like, so what was your diet before? Like, what was the things you were eating in a typical
Oh,
day?
child.
What was your
I'm in Texas, so that should already give you a little bit of
Right,
a
right.
idea.
Uh,
It was very unhealthy. I never ate pork, so that wasn't that much of a challenge to me. But
and you know
it was
what, Kieran, is
mostly.
so funny
Mhm.
because we all think that since we don't eat pork, because that's how I felt. I felt like since I didn't eat pork, I was healthy. I'm like, I was healthy because I didn't eat pork. That was healthy in
Yeah,
my mind. So you didn't
but
eat pork,
it's a lot
okay.
of beef in it's a lot of beef in Texas.
Oh
Oh, it's a
yeah,
lot of
yeah,
brisket in Texas. It's
yeah.
a lot in Texas. Texas loves to eat, and I did too. So um, it was exactly what you think it was. It was
Uh,
short ribs, it was
mm,
fried chicken, it was soul food, and I always felt like heavy afterwards, but
uh,
it was also a psychological thing because there were other things going on in my life that was also kind of catering to that weight gain and just stopping to lose weight and just
mm,
not getting that motivation. And so my diet was horrible. I didn't drink a lot of pop, but
uh,
I drank sweet tea, which is
mm.
just as bad. Drank
Right.
sweet tea. Low activity level. I didn't exercise. I was only exercising like once a week at the time,
Mm.
and just the combination of both of them.
Mm. And so did the weight start to come back? Like you had lost 100 pounds. Did the weight start coming back?
It did. It
Mm.
started coming back very rapidly. I was trying on clothes like, oh, okay,
Uh-huh.
this doesn't fit. And I said to myself, I am not buying new clothes. I have to buy new clothes now for a different reason. But at that
Uh,
time, I was like, I'm not buying new clothes. And
right.
I kept getting bigger and bigger, and I couldn't understand why I kept getting bigger and bigger. So before juicing, I did keto. Not smart. I lost a little bit of weight on keto, but I felt so horrible.
Mm.
It wasn't for me, and I just
Mm.
didn't feel healthy.
Mm.
Um, and I tried like doing a lot of exercise, but then my diet was still not good. So you can't outrun a bad diet.
That's the truth.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, you cannot outrun a bad diet. And so, because of what was going on in my personal life and my living situation, I said the only thing I can control right now is myself. And I'm like,
Mm.
if I don't at least finish this, then what else am I going to do? So
Mm.
some like I said, somewhere along the line between prayer and everything, it clicked, and that was how I got started as far as juicing. And the first week was the really hardest week. It was so hard.
Now, did you just make a decision? You're like, I'm going to start. You're done. You've been watching YouTube University and you're like, I'm going to start juicing. I'm going to see if that works. And what did you juice your first go around?
It was so horrible because I was following everybody else's recipes. And I realized in the beginning that I can't follow everybody's recipes. So
Uh-huh,
I was juicing everything in my green juice at the time. And it
uh-huh,
was like, it was not for me. Like it was kale and it was just too much. And I
uh-huh,
hated it.
uh-huh,
And I also, it was more expensive at the time because of the juicer that I had. So I
mm-mm,
was spending a lot of money on produce, and I didn't like the juice. I didn't
mm,
understand the juice shelf life, so the
mm,
juice was expiring, and
mhm,
it was a mess. But I do have a type A personality, so when I
uh-huh.
decided to start, I threw all the food in my refrigerator out.
Oh,
So
wow.
it forced
So
me
that's
to
all you
drink that
had.
juice. That was all I had. That was all I had.
And,
Yeah,
and so like how much juice would you drink in a day, or did you
not
just
enough.
random or you went uh-huh.
Not enough.
So did you
Not
did you
enough.
did you plan to do like a juice fast like for a particular period? And what
Yes.
was your goal that first time around?
I wanted to do what Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead did. I wanted to do a 60-day juice cleanse. I
Okay.
looked up the juices he was drinking, and I was like, this isn't going to work for me. Like,
Uh,
I'm going to bed. I'm in tears because I'm hungry. And
Tears and tears.
And I was in tears because I was watching everybody, and they's like, "Don't do this; it's too much sugar. Don't do this." And I was just doing way too much in the beginning, so
Uh-huh.
I had to do a reset. It took a couple. I would say it took about 4 or 5 months for me to really catch my groove, and
Uh-huh.
then I understood what worked for me and when, and that was when the flow started, and that's
Mhm.
also when I started exercising more as well too.
So the 4 months, you were just kind of doing it here and there, and then you
I
would
was struggling.
so you would eat, juice, and then you would eat. How were you doing it?
So I would juice during the day because I was perfectly fine during the day. I would juice during the day and then I would do the one meal in the evening. But I wasn't drinking enough juice. So that one meal was like huge because I was
Oh,
like, oh, I felt like I was, like I had earned it for some reason.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
So that was when I realized, okay, I've stepped on the scale for 4 months in a row. And I was like, I'm not
Nothing
losing
was
weight. This is
happening.
crazy. Nothing
Yeah.
is happening, and I'm getting frustrated. I'm like, okay, no, like I'm like, all these people are not lying. If they all
Uh-huh.
lost weight, they're not
Right,
lying. So you
right.
have to do something. And that was when I invested in one of the more popular juicers now
Uh-huh.
that are out. And once I got that juicer, first of all, the juices tasted way better, and they did.
Uh-huh.
And that was when I said, okay, you spent over $500 on a juicer. You gonna get this right. So that was when I started looking more into recipes. I looked at your recipes. It's a couple of other people that I follow on YouTube. I
Mhm.
looked at their recipes, and that was when it finally started clicking. And then I also started cutting my juice, meaning that I would always have some water in it so that it would help it
Mm.
last longer and keep me hydrated. And I also didn't use as much produce. So that was kind of like what has been working for me.
Now that's a hack. I don't think a lot of people talk about that, adding the water, and it helped to stretch your produce. And how did it affect the taste?
For me, it didn't affect the taste at all because, again, even if you add ice to your juice, you're sipping
Hmm.
on it all day, and you're gonna need water anyway. Because that was when I started exercising.
Yeah.
So because I needed that extra water, I was getting that all through the juice as well. So it did not taste as strong, but I didn't put enough to where it was like just straight water, like flavor
Right.
water.
Right.